What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. In this video, we're going to be talking about NIO and how 35 of the largest hedge funds in the world have very large positions in this company. And there's one in particular that is very special that we should take a look at. But before we get into all of that, if you guys could go down and hit that like button and hit that subscribe button and turn on that notification bell so you're never late on any of the new videos that I post and you'll never miss out on any new information. So NIO has had a turbulent last couple of weeks. This is mainly because of the delisting of Chinese stocks threat by the United States government. And over this past weekend, Donald Trump has signed into action a bill that would delist Chinese companies if they could not meet our accounting standards 3 years in a row. So we know that these Chinese companies are going to have at least 3 more years on these exchanges, and the legitimate ones that can follow our accounting standards will have a lot more time as well. NIO has also been on the move with a lot of other different things, especially market penetration and new technology development. They're developing a robo-taxi in Tel Aviv, which I talked about in one of my other videos if you want to go take a look. They're starting to roll out 100 battery charging and swap stations in China throughout 2021. So this basically means that if you have an old NIO car with an outdated battery, you can go to one of these charging stations and have it swapped out for a new battery. They also recently received a $60 price target from Daiwa, although a lot of other institutions have been downgrading NIO since they think that it is a little bit overbought at the current time. NIO also has NIO Day coming up very soon, which is going to be very special for them because they are planning on unveiling their new sedan to compete with the Tesla Model S. NIO is also getting a lot of attention from options traders as well. If we can pull up the option chain over here for the December 24th expiration date, we can see that the open interest on the pretty much at the money calls are 11,000 and 14,000. And if we go down to the 50, there's 40,000 open interest. And today there was very high volume on these contracts as well. So option traders are predicting a very big move in NIO over the next coming days. Let's see if they're right. But the hedge funds are what we really need to be looking at. So if we go over here, we can look at if NIO is a good stock to buy. This is the article that came out today on NIO. And we can see that it was in 35 hedge funds portfolios at the end of the third quarter of 2020. And the all-time high for this statistic is 30, which means that NIO is getting an increasing amount of bullish action from hedge funds, which is very good for the company in general. If we scroll down a bit further in this article, the article tells us which hedge funds in particular are invested in NIO, and we can see by this chart that there was a little spike over here, but the amount of hedge funds with NIO positions has constantly risen throughout 2020. Now, among these funds is Renaissance Technology. This really caught my eye because they have the largest stake in NIO right now, being worth around $296 million. Now, if you don't know what Renaissance Technologies is, it's a quant firm, and they used to have what's called the Medallion Fund. And this whole firm uses a very complex trading algorithm that is extremely precise to make their trades. And this was one of the most successful hedge funds ever. As you can see right here, it averaged a 71.8% annual return before fees from 1994 through mid-2014. This was a very exclusive fund that they would not let just anybody in, and they recently closed the entire fund. The firm bought out the last investor in the Medallion Fund in 2005, and all of the investing has been done in-house. What's really interesting about this is that the typical return of one of the biggest ETFs in the world, the S&P 500, is between 8 and 11% every single year. This fund was able to achieve about 7 times that year over year. The returns on this fund have been absolutely ridiculous, and the investors are making hand over fist if they were able to get into this fund. As this article says, this was taken from the book The Man Who Solved the Market, How Jim Simons launched the quant revolution. Since 1988, his flagship medallion fund has generated average annual returns of 66% before charging hefty investor fees, 39% after fees. That is still about 4 times the amount that a normal S&P 500 index would return. Now, nobody in the investment world has ever come close to these types of returns, and they were doing this for such a long time and very consistently. Now, knowing this information is very important, since if we know that one of the largest and the most successful hedge funds of all time, the most successful hedge fund of all time, has the largest position out of all of the other hedge funds in this company, we know that it is most likely going to have continued success on a very large scale, or it's going to continue to bring average returns. As I said before, NIO has its NIO Day coming up. It's working on completing its fully autonomous vehicles. It has a 100 kilowatt hour battery as of today, and is even teased a 150 kilowatt hour battery that would bring a 900 kilometer range. The new sedan that's going to come out with the Model S, this company is growing at an extremely high rate, as we saw with the share offering that they had to do in order to raise more funds in order to expand at this level. That's going to be it for this video. If you guys liked what you saw, please leave a like down below and make sure you subscribe. If you have any other thoughts, feel free to comment below. I'll do my best to get back to all of your comments as soon as I can.